Good evening. Hello there.
Good evening. Hi. Hi.
How are you? I
Oh,
feel
just
like some Mr. Rogers music or something is getting ready to play.
I feel like I need Mr. Rogers right now.
Right, exactly. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Sports View brought to you by Women Love Sports Too. I am Hatch, and I am joined by my lovely co host.
My earring's doing something weird. Hi. I'm Kanisha, otherwise known as K-Dub. Some folks call me mom. Some folks call me some other stuff that I can't say in front of polite company. But
Same.
it's good to be here. Every day is an opportunity to be great. Excited about this Wednesday.
That is great. That is great. You can send some of that bright energy
Oh, and
over.
look what the cat drug in. For real.
She's coming in the pool. No, she just got off the golf course. Ma'am, thanks for joining us. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello. It is green with the big E. We have dropped Cheryl.
Oh,
And
now
the
you're
reason
just green.
being is because the Cavalier starts with the C. And, they had to go on vacation. So I had to retire the Cheryl for now. So we'll bring it back next season.
They had to go on vacation, as in they went no further in the playoffs, is what you're saying.
No, we just went on vacation a little early.
Sabbatical.
Whatever you need to call it, Cheryl, to make you feel better. That's fine. But since you brought that up, I guess we will jump right in to the NBA playoff picture. So, in the wonderful words of R&B singer Deborah Cox, uh, how did we get here? The Western Conference Finals. The Western Conference Finals have, yeah, that song, Cheryl. Thanks. The
Yeah.
Western Conference Finals have the Canisius LA Lakers
With
and
LeBron James.
Denver Nuggets, while the Eastern Conference, who's kicking off tonight, have the Boston Celtics, Boston, and the Heat.
Mm.
So, I mean, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the losers, but the reason why I will bring it up is because someone on here thinks that some of these 7 game series are uh, not conspiracies, fixes,
Rigged. Rigged.
rigged. There we
Great,
go. There we
great.
go.
Rigged. You
What?
know, I,
Who?
that would be moi. That would be
Right.
me.
Because if you're asking, then it's the other person. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kanisha.
if you really want to know.
Right.
Because sometimes you look at the matchups and you look at how these things are dragging out, and it's just, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
More R&B. Sing it,
Yeah.
Riri.
Yeah. To quote Aretha Franklin, Riri, ain't no way. Because, when you look at the Nuggets and the Lakers, to me, that should be like common sense stuff and I will confess, I fell asleep before the game ended because, again, they need to have some afternoon West Coast playoffs for the geriatric crew.
Just
You
give
know,
people, just give people half a day on that day. Let them take, give them some leave, and let us all just watch it, in daylight hours.
thank you, because these late night games are no like I'm at the point in my life now I can drink a Red Bull and go right back to sleep. I can have the best of intentions. These games are watching me.
But
Now
this
I
this
will
one
say
started at 8:45.
I was really tired yesterday.
So how about they play the game, but it's recorded, and then they can, put it out East Coast time, and for you, Kanisha, K Dub, at a decent hour, like around 6. So it's over at 9.
I'm gonna write a letter because this is
Oh
really what
God, that's a
happened.
write a letter.
On this one, you know, I don't even think like LeBron wasn't really the center of this story. It was more Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis,
Yes.
and what Nicola over there for the Nuggets, Nugget Nicola.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was a bare escape. It was looking really bad at halftime, but then they brought it to like what, 6 points?
2.
It was 132 to 126. So that's 6.
Oh no! Oh yeah, you're talking about the final, but she was just saying how close they got. I thought they got to within 3, but within is still an L.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened. I mean, they really rallied, but it was a bunch of free throws, and then the clock was against the Lakers, and I can't say what else happened because, as I mentioned previously, I fell asleep. So.
Well, it was the first game, and it's okay. They can lose one. They're not going to win all of them.
There's going to be, there'll be, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
There'll be more losses. Yeah, there'll be more losses with the Lakers. Yeah.
But Jokic did get the triple-double, messed around and hit a triple-double.
He did. He was like, I mean, muy caliente. Like, he was on fire. On fire.
You want to add something in another language now, Cheryl, or?
Yeah, I don't know any other. Yeah. But Kenesha, the Lakers did lead at 1 point, 2-0. But that's not the point. I just wanted to give you a bright spot for that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and jump out there because the semis did not. Well, technically these are the semis. The quarters did not. They don't matter now. Who's coming out of the West and in how many games?
Denver in 5.
That's
rude, Cheryl. I was gonna go Denver in 6.
And no disrespect to Bronny. I mean LeBron. No disrespect to LeBron because he's from Ohio. But however,
you tell us everything. Yeah.
Denver, they just stacked a little bit better than the Lakers are right about now.
You think so?
I do. And then they're that elevation is another factor, So
they're going back and forth though.
That I know it's hard to win in Denver. You can't breathe up in there. You can't breathe in Denver.
They're not at the Mile High Stadium. They're inside, right?
I know. It's just the air. It's the air getting into the stadium.
Listen, I saw Russell. Is that right? Look, I forgot the boy, man. He had a bad season. A season full of field goals, and I forgot his name. Russell, what's his name? Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I saw him in there yesterday. I was like, oh, he's taking some pointers. I hope he was taking some pointers. Okay, taking notes. If I just So, Kenesha, what's your prediction for the West?
This is hard.
We'll go with your emotions.
I don't want to go with my emotions.
Well, go with your heart. Go what your heart say.
When I go with my heart, I'm also usually wrong. So
okay, throw a dart.
I would say probably the Nuggets in 6 also.
The Nuggets in 6.
I don't want to. But yeah.
I was about to make all R&B references all night. All right. Well, I mean, let's see what happens. So let's slide over to the East for a time where we can actually probably stay awake from, these games. You got the Celtics and the Heat. I don't know. Jimmy Butler is, more in fuego. I think the Knicks thought, I don't know what they thought, but it didn't work out for them.
It did. Did. We gave them a bye. We took that head and we blew them up down there. That's only because we was a little tired. We had been playing all year, all season. We didn't miss a game playing, and we were just a little bit tired. So
Cheryl, did you forget the part where I said we weren't talking about the losers? We're talking about.
I thought we were talking about LA.
No. We're talking about the teams now. So
she's giving excuses.
She's drawing like a what is it? What is a diagram? It's like a little flow chart all the way back, but she's going backwards.
What had happened was
Boston 1-7. are they just that great? Do they have enough for the Heat? Or do the Heat have enough for Boston, I should say?
Did you
We
say
can't put the
Boston and
whole thing
7?
on. We can't put the whole thing on Jimmy's back.
Did you say Boston and 7 though?
So
I know. I was saying it took them 7 to get here. So I'm
Okay.
like, is it? Are we like, whoo, they made it, or is it like, oh, they're a force to be reckoned with? And I was saying on the other side, well, we can't put the whole series on Jimmy's back. So what are they going to do? What's the Heat going to do?
the odds are that the Celtics are going to win. If you look at like all the statistics,
Mm-hmm.
they're a heavy favorite to win the series, advance to the finals. The thing that you have to look at is Jimmy Butler is saying playoff Jimmy is a real thing. I think there are some inconsistencies that you're going to have to look at. I think I heard this morning, what is he in playoffs? He's more like 35 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to be a little closer to like the, in the 40s there. So
every game?
Yeah, they did some like data on that. But you got Jason Tatum, you've got Jaylen Brown, you've got the rest of the Celtics. And Jason Tatum, I think, has a higher statistic and gets more points in a playoff. And he's young, he's healthy, and this is not his first time at the rodeo. So his mindset is where, he's in it to win it, and they're looking good. The Heat is on low.
The Heat's a little chilly. So, what do you think? What's your prediction for the East, Cheryl?
Oh,
again, not based off of emotion. Please, no one wants to hear the morning of the Cavs. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, being that Boston is wearing green, and my name is Green with the big E. So we're gonna say only if Jason keep eating that spinach, that green spinach that we've been shipping out to him. I'm gonna give it to Boston. I'm gonna say they're gonna take it in 6.
Okay. Kenesha, what about you?
I already said definitely Boston.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
And how many? Boston in 4.
I did not say Boston in 4. I already told you there's a conspiracy theory, or it's just marketing theory to drag this thing out, and so it's not going to be 4.
Okay. I am a fair weather basketball fan. I'm not ashamed. I mean, I just really started paying attention soon. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anything else Miami has going on other than Miami Vice from the 80s, and Jimmy Butler.
What about Trick? What about Trick Daddy?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we y'all want to start naming Miami stuff? Okay, Uncle Lou. All right, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to stick to topic. So I don't know. I'm going to say this. I am going to pull for Miami, but I think it's going to be Boston in. I think it's going to push to 6. I think Butler's going to do something, super amazing and force that game 6. But yeah, Boston will still prevail.
So why are you rooting for Miami?
Because I just sometimes a sucker for the underdog, and Also, thanks for asking, because you're gonna segue right. That segues right into the our next topic about NBA coaching. I was rooting for Philly just for Doc. So, anywho, yeah, Boston beat Philly. So now to that NBA coaching, I called it shenanigans, but the NBA coaching shuffle. I mean, it's not anything new. I don't know. As I scroll, I don't know if I want to pull a race card or not, but I'm going to go over a few. Because there were others other than Coach Monty and Coach Doc.
Mhm.
But I just felt like those were the most notable. Um,
But
most,
you have to say, in the meantime, Ime Udoka, star of Cheaters,
right.
um,
He was getting there. He didn't get the head coaching position. He got a coaching position. I'm getting there. So first, it's because clearly y'all don't care about these others. Buttonholzer, Mike Buttonholzer is out after 5 seasons with the Bucks.
there's so many things that can be said about that name alone. But go ahead.
Okay. The Toronto Raptors, Nick Nurse. Nurse parts ways after the play-in loss.
Mm.
And then who else? Where's the Dwayne Casey, but he stepped down. That's the Pistons coach. He stepped down. He's taking a front office role. So I'm like, you don't even count. Um, Steven Silas. Also, Rockets pass on keeping Silas, but of course they wanted to point out that Ime Udoka, former Celtics coach, lands with the Rockets. Now he's not first chair, but I mean,
But he's in there.
he's got a job.
Mm.
And he can, I mean, he can have a job. I always say, Marv Albert bit that lady's back, and he left his teeth marks in her back, back in the late '80s, early '90s, and he was back announcing. So, you know,
He left his what? Was a false teeth?
no, Marv Albert got a little, a little aggressive and a little frisky, a little fresh, and he bit a woman. And they had the pictures where his little teeth marks were in her back. I'm not laughing at her. I'm just pointing out offenses that, in spite of, you still get your job. Okay.
I'm not laughing about that, but the fact that you would bring that up and not his hair is like
Well, yeah. Well,
killing
that's
me
not going to
softly.
get him off. Yeah, that's not going to get him off the air, the air hair. And then of course the two that are being, most talked about. Doc Rivers is fired by the Sixers after their third straight playoff exit.
Mm.
Yeah, I just feel like fire the Sixers. Okay, fire the team. MVP.
Yeah, maybe it's the team. Maybe
You
it's the
know,
team.
Harden. Well, it's rumored that Harden, don't like playing up under Doc Rivers, but Harden don't like to play for nobody, probably but himself. So I don't
He
know.
also doesn't like to shave, but I mean, do we hold that against him? But
I'm
that's
just saying it could be Harden. I don't know.
yeah. That's the tough part, though, being a coach. You see that it's always then in football, you always it's like the coach or the quarterback. Like, who we gonna blame?
Yeah, but those two coaches weren't they the coach of the year and they got a little clout. The same things. I'm trying to think what it was. They were both of them was coaches of the year, and then they took their teams to the playoffs, and lost. But still,
Yeah.
they had some notoriety behind them, so they probably should have stayed there another year.
You see how no one cares about you after you get your trophy, and then they don't even care. So yes, to your point, Cheryl, Monty Williams, Coach Williams is out in Phoenix after the semifinal loss. Also, yes, to your point, a year after winning Coach of the Year.
And
So,
making it pretty far. You're in like the playoffs, or you're in play-in, or you're in the semifinals.
yeah.
And I know if you're not first, you're last, but still,
Yeah.
you don't see everybody else getting fired. How many teams are there in the NBA and these people are keeping their jobs? These people make it pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But this is the only sport where these coaches get fired like that. You don't hear a lot about, I mean, no, I know football, NFL, they fire their coaches as well. But I guess, it's more notable, I think, in the NBA because there's so many of them they're letting them go. After they use them up, they let them go. After they've made all their money, they don't need them now because they can bring somebody else in there that has less of a skill and they can train them to where they need them to be.
Yeah, that's tough. So
Yeah, I got a job for him now. I can hire Doc Rivers now. He looking for a job or Monty. I got something for him.
I bet you do.
who said that they were looking? especially for whatever you. Is this on LinkedIn? Is this on Sting? What site is this, Cheryl?
I'm just saying, I got a job for both of them.
Okay, well,
I'm glad she transitioned because I thought she was about to start singing about being a lover and a secretary because she was.
I was okay. I ain't gonna use singing. Then I thought I was gonna sing it, but I ain't gonna sing it. But I got a job for them. So
well,
anybody hear me?
Well, still on the NBA, unfortunately, we are not going to skip over Ja Morant, or as I wrote to you all, Ja Moran. I just made that up. Thanks.
And his name Tremendous. That's his first name or something like that.
Is his first name stupid? I don't know. Yeah, it's Demetrius.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, maybe you should start going by that, so then we won't know that it's him when the video comes up. You'd be like, oh no, that was Demetrius in the video.
My twin.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then not to make light of guns or mishandling of guns. What do we have to say about Ja?
Are we going to talk about the alleged beefing with a 17-year-old in a pickup game? That part of the story, or
I wasn't going back that far. We're just going to talk about his second IG live with
his best friend,
his little NRA second IG live video. No, this video surfaced with him again brandishing a weapon, and he was suspended. Again by the Memphis Grizzlies, but what does he say now? What did George Bush say? Fool me twice. Never mind. Don't even worry about it. What do we have to say about it?
Did you want to start, Kanisha?
Well, I was just kind of like thinking about in honor of Mother's Day being this, where's your mama in the past week?
I thought about his grandma. I'm like, where his grandmama at?
Because, you need a better circle. You need a smaller circle, obviously. You need like a pivot. That's small of a circle. And they need to tell you things like dial it down, dial it back.
Disconnect the phone. No, don't dial nothing. Just disconnect. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe listen to the radio versions of your music so you're not bringing the chopper and everywhere. I don't have anything. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try and make sense out of nonsense.
What about you, Cheryl?
Pray for him. Pray for him.
One thing I say is that this guy that his best friend, his homie, they played college ball, high school ball together or whatever, but he knew exactly what he was doing. So I don't know if that was a premeditated move that he did on Ja, and Ja just kind of felt, what is his name? What is his real name? Demetrius.
Yeah.
I don't know if Demetrius just fell into it because he could have, trying to, flex with his boys or whatever, but knowing that if it was on Instagram Live, everybody's going to see it right there at that moment in time. So what was, like I said, was that a premeditated move for him to put Ja out there in a negative light? And then at what moment in time is the respect for his friend and his friend's position, if that is your boy, and you sitting up there at the game in that gold necklace, on the front row, what kind of job do you got? Because I know them tickets probably about $5,000-$10,000, and he ain't got no job where he can just go buy a $5,000 or $10,000 seat and sit right there in the front row.
How do you know? He's got friends and family ticket access.
He ain't got that kind of job. I've been looking him up and so many other people. We've been did our research on this guy right here.
Cheryl, you know what? You are too young to be talking like this. You sound like Big Mama. And that boy ain't got no job. He can't afford that ticket. He's the BFF. He gets seats.
Yeah, you get the will call friends and family comp tickets. He's right doing that while you're on Glassdoor figuring out people's salaries, Cheryl.
But look, okay, like Big Mama said, sit right down that front row.
Yes.
Yes.
Where he get that money from?
Yeah.
We're saying he didn't have to purchase the ticket. He's the BFF. So
He's always there. He's always there. He
I
ain't
think,
Daddy.
I think, just to come back into the point, because again, this is a short show and not a ish show, like what he's doing. But anyway, I think it's just kind of what is the lesson learned? And, was it because a friend went on live, not really realizing? And then, you're supposed to have friends that like carry the stuff for you instead of you being the one to carry it, because you are the one, making the money in the spotlight, all of these other things. And so it's just perplexing. If the suspensions and the other things weren't enough, what will it take? To me, it's some type of, cry for help. Maybe he needs to take a little break, reevaluate his, priorities, and because all it's going to do is inspire the NBA to come down and be harsher on everyone else and everything else, because he's out here wilding, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I my research analyst, my research assistant made a good point. This is what I'm going to close this topic out on and move to something bigger and better and brighter. Not everybody gets to play in the NBA. Not everybody gets to make millions. Not everybody gets a shoe contract. Oh, and let's not forget he's also a father. But anybody can have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just want to be anybody? Like you just want to pick just to be regular and just
a rapper. He want to be a rapper.
When like you said, when do you grow up? When do you kind of separate between, real life and TV or fake? When do you separate and make a decision to? And again, it's not some straight and narrow. You can have a gun, you can enjoy life, but without it's the recklessness.
Yeah.
We know the results of of reckless behavior. So
yeah, if it leads to losing the shoe, losing the other endorsements, those other revenue, maybe that's the message. And so that's what we're seeing now is brands distancing themselves when you come across excuse me, as problematic. And so I'm guessing that's probably what we'll see.
Yeah. And then one last thing, he lost $40 million on the first incident. So he's definitely going to lose a whole heap of a lot more. And we know he done bought his families. He bought 2 houses right next door on some land. Now, 20 years from now, them taxes got to be paid. And if all his money is garnished now, who's going to pay them taxes on those houses? So I don't think they're looking at the longevity of it. Them being 50 and 60 years old still got to pay, the taxes on them, on that land that they got them houses on. So I think he's going through something right now. He has lost himself because maybe he got so much so fast. And he's not listening to the right people, or either the people that he was listening to is the ones that he shouldn't be listening to. I think he probably need to go sit down and get him some help and then come back.
So he wins the sit show, in my opinion. And then I was like, maybe he's not worried about losing money because maybe he has a situation set up like Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade, where she pays half. So maybe whoever. I'm sorry.
I wish I had saved time for that. Like, you gotta tell everybody everything. Anyway, I did see that someone said FBI wouldn't even make me tell that. Anyway,
okay.
I swear they are attention whores. They just like, what are you talking about? I hope I get an acting gig. The bills are gonna be paid. Stop. Anyway, that was fun. So ending on a good note, 2 things. Because I don't know why you all can't get enough of talking about the Commanders. The Commanders, we know, are up for sale, but apparently now Daniel and Tanya are officially selling them, and we know the Harris Group is involved, but now it is about to be the time where it will come up for a vote at the owners meeting. And I don't think anybody's going to miss Dan Snyder. Obviously, not us, not the owners. Especially after he did that thing like, I got dirt on all y'all. Like, I feel like that basically stamped his ticket.
Who's going to say no to that?
Exactly. So, we're looking forward to just moving on to the next step. Bye, Daniel D. Sneezy. And the stand up, which is what we will end on, is we want to give a shout out to Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts for graduating with a master's from the University of Oklahoma.
Let's go. Beauty and brains.
Exactly. So he gets the stand-up award. Congratulations, Jalen. Tell us how you got your teeth so white. All right. Well,
using that purple stuff.
Thank you, sir. Ladies, it's been a blast as usual. We will now be able to see, a good portion of the Eastern Conference game. So, hey, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, ladies, as usual, for getting on. And tune in soon again to hear another Sports View, brought to you by Women Love Sports Too.
Go Browns.
We love you too.
Go Browns.
I was trying to say it over her.